please stand and remove your hats, please. I'm going to ask the Honorable Clint Hoop, Mayor of the City of Dunlap, to lead us in prayer and the pledge, sir.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for the many blessings that you've given us. We're thankful for the community that we reside in. We ask that you would be with us. Ask that you be with this commission tonight, Father, and that you would touch them and guide them by your Holy Spirit. Give them the guidance and the wisdom to make the decisions that need to be made for our community. We just ask that you be with each and every one of us, and those that are sick and afflicted. We ask that you help our community prosper. And we just want to give you the thanks and the glory for everything. And it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. So if you join me in the pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. We welcome everyone to the regular bi-monthly the Sequatchie County Commission this 20th of May 2024. We want to thank our friends from BTC Fiber for telecasting this event, and they do a splendid job for our community and other communities as well. We appreciate them being here. So, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Chester Shell. Yes. Gary Williams.
Here.
Brian Ruling.
Here.
Blake Lane.
Here.
James Freeland.
Here.
Brian Walker.
Here.
George Dodson. Here. Ed Nunley.
Here.
Jeff Barger.
Here.
Paul Powell.
Here.
Michael Hudson.
Here.
Jim Dishman. Here. Frank Silver.
Here.
Susie Bostic. Here. Wayne Clemens.
Here.
Tommy Johnson.
Here.
Tommy Nero.
Here.
And Jeff Matthews.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum, Madam Clerk. Okay, up next, the public comments section. I don't know if anyone signed up relative to the agenda. No one wants to speak or sing the national anthem tonight, so check that off. Commissioners, in your package, you should have received the minutes from the March 18th meeting. After looking at those, I'll entertain a motion to approve said minutes.
So moved.
Have a motion from Mr. Barger. Have a second from Jimbo Breland. Any comments, questions, additions, deletions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, said minutes hereby passed. As part of the minutes, Madam Clerk, I want to make the trustees' report part of the minutes. And also, I know the Highway Department, I'll give it to you in a minute, I want to make the record of the Sequatchie County Highway Department report as well, but I'll give it to you just in a second. Okay. Sarai, I saw you first. Give us the good report on the school system.
You know, as I reflect on such a hectic week that we had last week in the life of our schools, it makes me so thankful when I see our students.
Sorry about that. I'm
kind of used to dealing with farm animals.
Thought you was out of school, lady.
Yeah, back in session. What I was going to say is just noticing, it makes me incredibly proud when I'm around our students and the behavior that they demonstrate. It makes me so proud when I see us in comparison to things that I see on the news, and that in fact our children don't act that way. So I'm really, really proud, and I know that you are too, that in our community we still uphold standards and we know what we stand for, and our children are examples of that. So I'm really proud that we're teaching them to have respect for our country and have standards for their behavior as well. So we're not going to let down on that. Lots of events in the last few weeks. Some of them that come to my mind, if you looked at the Tribune, you saw lots of pictures from our Special Olympics. We were the hosts this year from all the surrounding counties. It's one of the most heartwarming occasions that we get the opportunity to participate in. And it reminds us that we do so much more than just academia. And it's a win for the what I want to say, typical students, if that's a thing, that they get to support their peers in the Special Olympics. It's a really, really special day. If you were there for honors night or you watched our live stream, our students were the recipients of more than $72,000 from local scholarships. That's how much this community believes in our high schoolers who are graduating. Just Friday night, the rain caught us at the very end, but we were able to graduate 136 seniors who are now alumni of Sequatchie County High School. Many of them are already enrolled in TCAP trade schools. The military, some are enlisting and going to basic this summer, and some have plans to attend universities. Budget season, I know that's on your minds. It is ours too, and Sherry's here in the audience. This season, we will be focusing on paraprofessional salaries. Every year since I've been director, I pick a focus group, and this year the emphasis will be our paraprofessionals. They're the bloodlines of our school. We couldn't do the work that we do without them. Also, we'll have to pay attention. The governor has insisted, and we agree with this, that we want beginning teacher salary up to $50,000, so we have to be mindful and keep that trajectory. As you all, we are adjusting to the loss of ESSER dollars. So it was very nice having that federal funding while we had it, and we put that in personnel. I will always advocate for people before stuff. So as long as I represent the school system, please expect that I'm going to advocate for the people who make the difference in the lives of students. But things that we will have to maintain in the budget that were covered by ESSER dollars that I want to keep in place include a school nurse at each of the buildings. A CDC teacher, we're going to add a position because the needs are there at the middle school. We're going to have to add an additional CDC, that's a special ed, self-contained classroom at the middle school. A district testing coordinator. As you heard on a legislative session, we have new legal rules for testing and retention of students. Well, that impacts us in more ways than one. Also, now we're required to pay for tutors to make sure that students are meeting their required standards. And if they're promoted, depending on, we were looking at test scores coming in today, before they go to 4th grade, so we have to pay for that. I want to, before I thank you, I want you to know that we had several legends in the school district retiring this year. You've probably seen some of that on Facebook or in the Tribune. Those are very big shoes to fill. I don't know that we can, but I'm absolutely going to make the very best hires out of the candidates who applied. What's going to be going public in the next day or so, as soon as I push it out, I've hired the elementary principal. His name is Mr. John Ross Jones. He's coming to us from Manchester City Schools, where he currently serves as a special ed director. I can't wait to introduce you to him. I think you're going to be really, really happy with him. Serving as his assistant principal will be Miss Tracy Corder. She's an in-house hire. She's already a teacher with us, and she's the right person to serve as his assistant principal. I want to thank you all. Many of you have been on the campus in the past few weeks supporting us, touring the schools, at lots of our community events. Thank you for the support you give us. I appreciate that. I know our teachers do. They're glad to see you around, and so am I. Again, you're always welcome. Happy to answer any questions you may have for me.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Superintendent Higgins.
Oh,
Next.
me, huh?
Yeah, there's a giant pothole up on 111.
Yeah, that's my fault, I can assure you. Everything else is my fault.
Could you please go up there and explain how to take care of it?
I can tell you why it's like that. About 35 years ago, when I was a young guy, still didn't have no gray hair. They hit a big stream up there when we were building that road, and they put a metal pipe in instead of the concrete pipe I suggested. So here we are. So, all right, my report's pretty easy. I've got listed up here. It shows our monthly revenues with a 3-year table. You got our work activities, balance sheets. Mainly, we finished a paving job up on Lewis Chapel Mountain the other day. The state come in and done the safety grant work and put striping and reflectors down. I had to go ahead and paint it first because I didn't know when that was going to come in.
I didn't see any reflectors.
They're there. I seen them today. I went through there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And
Good
right
job,
now,
really.
huh?
Looks pretty good.
And it rides pretty good. I actually got a compliment by somebody that normally don't compliment. I was kind of surprised. But we're working on Kelly Cross right now with all the rains we've had and the way the road was widened over the past few years. There's not a lot of base on the outside edges of it, and some of the edges have come off. And before we paved those edges, actually put the surface on it, we paved one side. We dug that up today, put rock in it, and got it ready to pave. So we'll pave it tomorrow and finish it. And they should stripe it the next day. That's what's scheduled. We've got a couple of paving jobs we're gonna, state aids, we're gonna do after July 1, the way the state works. At least 2, maybe 3, we'll see. And I've got 2 or 3 small roads I wanna try to get. I just have to watch my balance and my money. And after it gets above a certain point, we'll try to pave 2 or 3 small roads, and then I'm gonna tar and chip a few roads. And then other than that, there's questions. Oh, one other thing I'm gonna talk about. I just went through another investigation. There's a former employee, and he had somebody with him. We won't get into that. And they found nothing. I'm just gonna believe he's a former employee right now. And then Chester, while I'm thinking about it, you said something about 2 letters that got submitted on Shadowland last meeting, when that guy was up here talking about Shadowland, how terrible the road was and this and that.
Me?
Yeah, I thought you said something about you.
No, I said I've got, several people come and talk to me about it.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I know that road's bad, but the reason it's bad, it's always gonna be bad, is because those big heavy rock trucks coming in out there. And I can tar and chip it back, but them, you know as well as I do, they're not gonna be happy unless there's asphalt on it. But for me to put asphalt on it, I'm gonna have to put 3 layers on it to support that weight that's coming out there.
Where's the truck coming from, you talking about?
I think Stone Dynamics is the name of the trucks coming in and out of there.
Way back?
Yeah, from way back in the back.
Well, that's the one matching tiles down, and that's where the plants are at.
They're what?
He's matching the tiles down in the ditch lines.
Yeah.
And turning that water in the yards. That's little complaints like that, but I've
Yeah.
had no letter.
Well, if they're doing that, then we're gonna have to start going after them and letting them help pay for it. Because, I mean, I'm spending, I'd say $50,000 a year on pipes.
Is that
It used to be 10, but all the pipes and problems and stuff like we're having now with rusted out pipes, it's costing.
I talked to that guy back there one time, he told me he wasn't in this county. So I don't know the answer to that.
Our road goes to the T section back there. We go all the way back through Shadowland, and right at the T section we stop.
Does he live in the county, you know?
Which guy?
The guy way back in the road where you said go back there and just.
I don't know if that's in the county. I don't go past that point. It's a gravel road, it's not a county road.
Just why I was saying that.
Yeah, but the reason I brought that up is I thought someone said about some letters,
No,
we
I
checked
didn't.
at the office, we didn't have any, and I was gonna see if you could give them back to us if you had them.
No, if he has a letter come in, I'll come to you.
Okay.
and set
But
that
now
up.
there's some other roads we wanna work first, but after we've done out there for a little while, I've got some roads I gotta catch up, smaller roads, and then we'll come back. Yes?
Is Hobbstown still on the list?
Lawstown's still on the list, but you got neighbors out there, one of them wants the back part of the road tarred and chipped, and then one of them wants about 7/10 of a mile paved, like we talked about, so they get to decide whether they want that back part tarred and chipped or the other part. I'm gonna leave that up to you and your compadre right there to talk to your constituents and see what they want, because we're not gonna do both, we're gonna do one. Because we got to spread the money out in the county. We can't do everything between there, and I spend a lot of money. That's why we got to pull off your amount for a while.
One thing that, am I interrupting? Up where that little bus turnaround up on Winter Rock Road.
Yeah, we're working on the right of way. I talked to Jennifer about it just a minute ago, and we're going to either look at it this week or next week. And as soon as we get that, she got questions about what I give her.
Well, that's the only thing I've got right now.
Yeah, and we're going to do it just as soon as I
Sounds
feel
good.
comfortable with it, doing it.
When you first started talking, the road you just completed, wasn't that on Lewis Chapel?
One of them was on
Yeah.
Lewis Chapel. It was Lewis Chapel Mountain Road. We paved the county's part of it all the way to the county line.
Did a beautiful job.
It looks good. And the state did a good job on the striping when they come back. I give them some good guidelines to go by this time.
I'd
They
see
look
the
good.
drive. I'd even see the drive, be blind.
It's good. It's holding up good.
It's good.
Any other questions for Eric? Thank you, Mr.
All right,
Higgins.
thank you.
Appreciate it. We have Puckett in the house because they may be called out at any time. Mr. Joe Dunn, come forward, sir.
Thank you. My name is Joe Dunn. I'm the Director of Operations for Puckett EMS here in Tennessee and North Georgia. I just want to share a little bit of information. One, we just completed our audit for the state of Tennessee. We have to do it for every county, every year. Last year in Sequatchie County alone, we had 4,137 requests for transports. Year to date, so far this year, we've had 1,327, and comparing that number to last year at the same time, we're about 4% lower, which is good. We had 1,379 last year. I wanted to share staffing. I'm sure everyone that works understands that staffing is a challenge. We've been blessed here in Sequatchie County to be full staffed. One of our paramedics is out on FMLA, so we've been filling that vacancy with part-time personnel. I do want to share that 6 of our EMTs that work up here full-time are all in medic school as well, so they'll be getting out in the next 2 to 3 months. So that's a big, it's a big challenge that we've overcome since COVID. I do want to thank the schools too. We've had 7 high school students that have rode with us, and 2 of them want to ride again this summer. So I do want to say thank you for that. If y'all have any questions or comments, please reach out to me anytime.
Any questions for Mr. Dunn? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, Sheldon, with Ag, anything for the folks tonight?
I provided you with a written report for the first quarter of the year. It's been busy this first quarter of the year, and camp season starts next week. So we'll, I think most everything you need to know is in the written report. So if you don't have any questions.
Thank you very much. Blaine, can you second that? I mean, you have to work with the guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Thank you, Sheldon. Do an excellent job with the kids. We appreciate that. Janice, are you ready to share?
Can you hear me if I talk from here?
Absolutely. You've got a whole 30, 45 seconds. Take it.
I got you. Okay, well, the first thing is we're working with TDOT and TWRA to put bear-proof cans, which are also recycling cans, throughout the scenic byway. The ones that you'll notice, there's one at the rescue squad, there's one down by Coops Creek, there'll be one in Whitwell and Marion County, there's one on 111 in Cagle Mountain. We have a couple left, so if you know someone or a place that could use a bear-proof can.
Up on Lewis Chapel, we need to get one where we can put cans in.
Okay, we'll talk later and you tell me where.
Right.
And then through the chamber, we have new videos, rack cards representing the businesses, the small businesses that will be placed in the visitor centers and the welcome centers along the interstates. A week and a half ago, we held a meeting with several community members to complete a strategic plan for 1-year, 3-year, and 5-year plan for tourism. On June the 22nd, we will have our 3rd annual Songwriter Festival, which will be on Walnut and Cherry Street, and so that should be really good. If you know anybody wants to be a vendor, we're not charging for the vendors. We want people to come to town, spend money, and go home. Through Thrive Sequatchie, which is the charitable arm of the chamber, we've been able to put lights at the park, at the pavilion at the park. Mayor, are the fans up yet?
No, ma'am. Waiting on the electrician.
Okay, so there's huge fans that will go in there. We've been able to work with County Executive Cartwright to do lights and sounds for music events that will be held. They were used at Valley Fest, they'll be used at Songwriter Festival, 4th of July, anywhere else that they're needed. We're in the process of doing historic markers on the buildings that are in downtown and other places. And then we're just completing Growth Zone, which would allow any chamber member basically to upload materials and highlight their own website through the chamber, so that anybody coming to town, and we usually get 15 to 20 calls a week to send us materials out about moving here. The majority of them are from California and Florida. So we send them there. So if you're a chamber member, Tommy, I was thinking about Lona, you need to send somebody down to sit with Miss Avery Land who's doing that for us, and it just allows people to come to your area. So thank you so much for everything you do, and if you need anything from the chamber, let us know. Thank you.
Janice. We appreciate it. Tom, I skipped you with audit. Any news from audit?
We deferred the audit because of budget season.
Very good. Sherry, do you back that up? Got to double check him. Okay, Pam with the IDB, anything from you?
Well, we've been extremely busy since last September. We have started to try to perfect the ARC grant with the Man-Hummel building, what we call the Man-Hummel building at 543, and that's the Industrial Development Board's building with the county. And so we are doing, we've about perfected it. We have to have it completed by 9/25, so we're kind of on a deadline now. And everything looks good as far as it's a $500,000 ARC grant. And some of the things that Man-Hummel has requested and we have looked at to look at the repairs on that building is an upgrade to phase 3, new lighting, we need a new central heat and air, we need new gas heaters, and the roof needs to be repaired. That's just a few things. So we have an engineer that's going to come in through PM Environmental Company that we used initially, and they're going to come in and kind of tell us what the new cost is, which has gone up since we initially did the RC. So we're excited about that. And also, we started out with a 3-year lease with Man-Hummel, and we have upped it to 5 years. So we're really excited about that. So we're trying to perfect that and should sign that contract any day now. And also on the Carlisle Development Project, which is where Be Quick was, all of that project. We have recently submitted a BRAG grant through TDEC to help with mitigation costs. So we're going to have it cleaned up before we can do anything. And I'm thinking that Richard is going to be out probably sometime around September, October, something like that. So we've got that submitted, and hopefully we'll get word on it within the next 30 days. I would also like to thank Mayor Hoof for allowing us to go and use the City Brownsville grant to help with the mitigation on the front end. That kept the IDB from having to use any of the county money. So I'm just tickled to death with that. I thank you. So big things are happening, and hopefully you'll be able to see it, and I can come back with some things that have already been done. So.
Thank you, Pam. Any questions or comments for Pam? I know she's working hard. That's kind of the front door to our city and county. Right there, we want it to be special and look enticing to pull off, spend a lot of money and keep moving. Anyway, I thought it was funny. Okay, moving on. Let's get to Brian. Anything with 911 or emergency services?
Everything's moving forward.
Everything's moving forward. Okay. Okay, JP with veterans.
So you have the report that I gave you. You can see our numbers look pretty on track to be close to next year's. I think they might be a little less because we don't have the crush of claims under PAC that we had last year, but it'll be close. Some of the things we've done, I'm still working on the legislative process, what I briefed before. We've done 2 virtual hearings with the Board of Veterans Appeals. I audited the paper file cabinet in my office and found 75 claims or so that are going to have to be addressed. Try to contact them and see what needs to be redone. The rules change over time, so I just went through all those. Speaking of retro claims, you can see that the widows' cases I briefed at last, 5 of those 7 have been awarded now, and the sum of their payments is about $250,000. And they'll all get $16.12 a month and VA healthcare now. So I was able to coordinate donation of a new desktop for our office to do VBA hearings, telehealth. Coordinated that between the Veterans Post. They donated to the park who shares their space, so we can use that computer now. Did 20 outreaches, and you can see I've added some more veterans and files to our system. Any questions for me?
Thank you, Jim. We appreciate the good job.
Good job, Jim.
Ms. Burton, the library.
Good evening. You have a flyer of March and April numbers. As every other department, we are busy also. Some things I wanted to point out was we have Chattanooga Zoo Pass and a Discovery Museum Pass that our friends in the library has purchased. And this is for families that can come in and check these passes out. It's for 2 adults, 4 children. They get a pass, they get the pass, they get to go to the places for free. And so this is helping our families that may not be able to afford, they get to go and do that, experience that. My goal for 2025 is to have 2 passes for each, plus the aquarium, and then the Chattanooga Symphony, because I think that would be kind of cool. Some things that I needed to recognize that wasn't on here is in the month of April, we had 2,000 juvenile library cards issued. So that means children 14 and under in our community, 2,000 of them are carrying a library card. And sometimes I feel like I've seen 2,000 children at the end of the day. Another thing I wanted to point out was my friend Paul Powell has told me just a minute ago that I wanted to plant grass or something outside the library, and he has now has given me sod, and so we are so excited for that. And my mind is going of all the cute rocks that my children will paint and everything that can go out there. So just excited for the library. We're going to do summer reading kickoff June 1st. We are going to have a train, bouncy house, food trucks outside, and my goal last year was 120 children. We did over 300, so I didn't do a goal this year because I just want all the children to come and enjoy summer reading programs. So, any questions?
Anything you can't do?
Cook. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. We appreciate it. All right, Ms. Mitchell, anything from legal?
Yeah.
I know you're going to speak about a contract we're cutting up pretty good a little bit later, but moving on, Mr. Barger with budget.
You have 5 minutes. I'll talk fast and don't listen. Let's vote. Get through it. All right. The budget committee did meet earlier today. A couple of items before we get into the transfers. We kind of amended the budget schedule. We will kind of, with a lot of things that's gone on and everything in the last few weeks, Keith and I and some on the budget committee decided that we can kind of extend this out just a little bit. So June the 10th will be a meeting for a proposed budget review. June the 17th, the school and the highway department will present their budget. And June the 27th, we're looking at present the full budget to the full commission. And that'll also be a day that we usually do our annual housekeeping stuff anyway. And then July 15th would be the vote to adopt the 24-25 budget. Just a couple of notes to go over. All right. Quite a few transfers, so we'll jump right into them. First transfer that I have here is, this came as a motion from the budget committee to accept this transfer. It was transferring from budget code 101, 39,000 fund balance, sum total of $12,426, transferring to 53,500, 399. The juvenile contract services, that same total, $12,426, and that was a motion from the budget committee.
Do I hear a second? A second from Mr. Powell. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Chester Shell.
Yes.
Gary Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Lane Lane.
Yes.
James Freeland.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Morris Johnson. Yes. Ed Young.
Yes.
Jeff Barber.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
Jim Dishman. Yes. Craig Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic. Yes. Wayne Clemens.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tommy Nero.
Yes.
and Jeff Packard.
Yes.
Motion hereby passes. Mr. Chairman.
All right. The next item, and this is also a motion from the budget committee, budget code 151, transferring from 39,000 fund balance, sum total of $20,000, transferring that to 82,210,613 interest on loans. This was a jail interest payment.
For the motion, do I have a second? A second from Mr. Johnson. Any questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Mr. Shell?
Yes.
Gary Williams?
Yes.
Brian Rowley?
Yes.
Lane Lane?
Yes.
James Freeland?
Yes.
Brian Walker?
Yes.
Jonas Johnson?
Yes.
Ed Nunley?
Yes.
Jeff Barber?
Yes.
Paul Powell?
Yes.
Michael Hudson?
Yes.
Judy Dishman? Yes. Frank Silver?
Yes.
Susie Bostic?
Yes.
Wayne Clemmons?
Yes.
Tommy Johnson?
Yes.
Tommy Nero?
Yes.
And Jeff Mack?
Yes.
Motion hereby passes. Mr. Barber.
All right. The next item that the Budget Committee considered was, and this was also a motion from the Budget Committee, Budget Code 116, transferring from 39,000 fund balance, sum total of $2,500, transferring that to 58,400,510 trustee commission. That same total, $2,500.
Do I have a second? Mr. Silver. Any questions or comments? Mr. Shell?
This is rolled back on the end of the year, correct?
Yes, all the trustee fees roll back into 101, yes. Any other questions?
This is a good sign. Trustees collecting money.
Hearing no further comments, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion hereby passes. Mr. Barber.
All right. The next transfer that the Budget Committee considered, and this also came as a motion from the Budget Committee, it is transferring from Budget Code 101 from 39,000 fund balance, a sum total of $22,000, and transferring that to 58,400,510 trustees commission, that same total, $22,000.
Do I have a second? Have a second from Mr. Clements. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, because it exceeds $5,000, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell?
Yes.
Gary Williams?
Yes.
Brian Rowley?
Yes.
Wayne Lane?
Yes.
James Freeland?
Yes.
Brian Walker?
Yes.
Jonas Johnson?
Yes.
Ed Nunley?
Yes.
Jeff Barber?
Yes.
Paul Powell?
Yes.
Michael Hudson?
Yes.
Judy Dishman? Yes. Frank Silver?
Yes.
Susie Bostic?
Yes.
Wayne Clemmons?
Yes.
Tommy Johnson?
Yes.
Tommy Nero?
Yes.
And Jeff Mack?
Yes.
Motion passes. Mr. Barber.
Yes, sir. All right. Next item that we have is that the Budget Committee considered, and this also came as a motion from a Budget Committee to make this transfer. It was transferred from 101, 39,000 fund balance, a sum total of $101,222. That same amount transferring to 54,110,718 sheriff's motor vehicles. That was a motion from the Budget Committee.
Do I hear a second? Mr. Shell, thank you. Any questions or comments relative to this?
And these are, a lot of these dollars are flowed through. This came from the SRO grant and the VCIF grant.
Correct.
Project we discussed 3 months ago.
Yeah, very good. Any other questions? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell?
Yes.
Gary Williams?
Yes.
Brian Rowley?
Yes.
Lane Lane?
Yes.
James Freeland?
Yes.
Brian Walker?
Yes.
Jonas Johnson?
Yes.
Ed Nunley?
Yes.
Jeff Barber?
Yes.
Paul Powell?
Yes.
Michael Hudson?
Yes.
Judy Dishman?
Yes.
Frank Silver?
Yes.
Susie Bostic?
Yes.
Wayne Clemmons?
Yes.
Tommy Johnson?
Yes.
Tommy Nero?
Yes.
And Jeff Mack?
Yes.
Motion passes. Mr. Barber.
All right. The next item that the Budget Committee was considering, and this also came as a motion from a Budget Committee to accept this transfer. It's transferring from Budget Code 101, 39,000 fund balance, transferring $2,400, transferring that to 56,500,207. That same amount, $2,400. That's for library medical insurance.
Do I have a second? Mr. Shell, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, Motion hereby passes. Mr. Barker. We've got the 5-day rule. You want to do one 5-day?
Yeah, we're in the packet of the 5-day rules. Do you want?
So I will entertain a motion to waive the 5-day rule on the next several items coming forward.
Motion.
Have a motion from Gary Williams. To have a second from Jimbo Breeden. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye of that waiver. Aye. Opposed, no. Hearing none, said 5-day rule is hereby waived. Mr. Barker.
All right. The next item that the Budget Committee considered, and this also comes as a motion from the Budget Committee to accept this transfer. It's transferring from Budget Code 101, 39,000 fund balance, a sum total of $33,966.12, and that's transferring to 53,400,790 Chancery Court other equipment. That same total, $33,966.12.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Silver. Any questions regarding the AOC grant reimbursement? Yes, Mr. Shell, this is a grant, we front the money and receive the monies back 100%. Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell.
Yes.
Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Wayne Lane.
Yes.
James Freeman.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joel Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barker.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
Jim Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Wayne Clemens.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tommy Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Matthews.
Yes.
Motion hereby passes. Mr. Barker.
All right. The next few items that the Budget Committee considered, these were budget amendments for various offices. I'll start with the Sheriff's Office first. The Sheriff, and this came as a recommendation from the Budget Committee to accept this amendment. The Sheriff is coming out of Fund 122, account 54,150, decreasing line item 570, a sum total of $12,300, and increasing that into line item 316.
Do I hear a second? Mr. Shell, these monies, just for comment, we're all within budget, so any other questions or comments?
This was part of the Project K-9 Hero
Correct.
that the Sheriff had talked to us about a few months ago. The check is coming in.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell. Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Wayne Lane.
Yes.
James Freeman.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joel Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barker.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
Jim Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Wayne Clemens.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tommy Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Matthews.
Yes.
Motion to transfer hereby passes. Mr. Barker.
All right, the next item, and this also came as a recommendation from the Budget Committee in the Sheriff's budget. He's transferring from Fund 101, account 54,210, decreasing line item 106, sum total of $14,000, and increasing line item 187, that same amount. And this is to cover the overtime expenses.
Again, this is within the budget, not new money. I'll entertain a second. Mr. Shell, thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell. Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Wayne Lane.
Yes.
James Freeman.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joel Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barker.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
Jim Dishman. Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Wayne Clemens.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tommy Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Matthews.
Yes.
Motion to transfer hereby passes. Mr. Barker.
All right, the next item that the Budget Committee considered, and this also is a motion from the Budget Committee to accept this amendment. It is transferring $7,000 out of Fund 101, account 54210, out of decreasing line item 106 and increasing line item 299. And this is the deputy line to fringe benefits line item. This is moving his money within his budget.
Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Shill. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Mr. Shell. Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
James Freeman.
Yes.
Wayne Lane.
Yes.
Sorry. Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barker.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson. Gene Dishman. Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Wayne Clemens.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tommy Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Motion to transfer hereby passes. Mr. Barker.
All right. The last item that we consider for the sheriff, and this one's actually the same amount. One was for the jail, one is for the sheriff's budget. So it's Fund 101, account 54110, and we're moving $7,000 from line item 106 and moving it into line item 299.
I hear a second. Have a second. Thank you, Susie. Ms. Bostic, any questions, comments?
That was a second.
That was the second, Ms. Bostic.
I thought you, okay, sorry.
I'm tired of Chester butting in. Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Mr. Shell.
Yes.
Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Wayne Lane.
Yes.
James Freeman.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barker.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
Gene Dishman. Yes. Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic. Yes. Wayne Clemens.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tommy Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Okay, transfer hereby passes. Mr. Barker.
All right, next budget request amendment that county budget committee considered was from our county clerk, and she had increased it to a total of $1,170. It's coming out of her line items, the 337, 187, and 355. And those are moving into line item 169 for part-time employees. It's again, it's a total of $1,170. $1,170. $500 out of 337, $500 out of 187, and $170 out of 355. All rolling into 169.
I hear a second. Thank you, Mr. Williams, for that second. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, likewise. Congratulations, Charlotte. Transfer hereby passes. Mr. Barker.
All right. One other item that we received, and hopefully everybody got a copy, because I'm not going to read all three copies, or all 3 pages of this, but this was the Sequatchie County Highway Department doing a little bit of their budget cleanup, budget amendments early. And if everyone's got a copy, you can kind of review those. And this was a motion from the budget committee to accept these budget amendments from the highway department.
I have a second from Mr. Mack. Any questions? Hearing none, because the amendments exceed $5,000, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Mr. Shell.
Yes.
Gary Williams.
Yes.
Brian Ruling.
Yes.
Wayne Lane.
Yes.
James Freeman.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barker.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
Jim Dishman. Yes. Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Wayne Clemens.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tommy Nero.
Yes.
And Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Okay, a motion to approve the highway department's amendments hereby passes. Mr. Barker.
All right, the last item that the budget committee took action on was, and hopefully everyone's got a copy of it, the 1995 Mack truck from solid waste. We had a request to surplus this, and this came as a motion from the budget committee to surplus the old Mack.
Do I hear a second?
That's a 96.
It's a 96, yes.
96.
Second. I have a second from, who was that? Paul Powell. Mr. Powell, thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call. I don't know what it's worth, but we'll find out.
Terrell? Jerry Williams?
Yes.
Brian Rubin?
Yes.
Lane Lane?
Yes.
James Freeman?
Yes.
Brian Walker?
Yes.
Joyce Dodson? Yes. Ed Nunley?
Yes.
Jeff Parker?
Yes.
Paul Powell?
Yes.
Michael Hudson?
Yes.
Jim Dishman? Yes. Frank Silver?
Yes.
Susie Bostic? Yes. Wayne Clemens?
Yes.
Tommy Johnson?
Yes.
Tommy Nero?
Yes.
Jeff Matthews?
Yes.
Okay, surplus hereby passes. Mr. Barker.
That is it, my friend.
All right, thank you for your time and efficiency, sir. Moving forward, is there any other reports that I missed?
You don't need the AC guy. We put any money in the budget for the AC?
Mr. Phillips, I saved you to last. I've seen so much of you this week. I thought he was my brother.
Did we miss a little?
We approved that with $33,000. Bill's been at the office this week more than I have, so that's my office. So.
So this is just proof that the K-9 thing is really happening. We've been talking about this for a year now. So we went last Friday. You can see the little K-9 on the back window. We went last Friday and picked this vehicle up. So this is the vehicle that we purchased with the VCIF grant money for the K-9. So the dog is being trained down in Alabama, and our handler will be going down to train with the dog in the coming weeks. He will be down there for about 5 weeks with the dog. They'll go through the certification process, and as soon as both the handler and the dog are certified, they'll be back here in that vehicle and on the streets. So I just wanted to show that to you guys.
So we're getting an Alabama dog.
Well, the dog actually came from Germany. It's just being housed in Alabama.
All right,
Yeah.
well, that's not completely
Who is the legal official that y'all proclaim to be over the dogs? What deputy?
The deputy that'll be doing it is Deputy Brett Bourne. So, thank you. So first of all, I want to mention that we've just concluded Law Enforcement Memorial Week. So over the past week and a half or so, we first attended the ceremony in Nashville back on the 9th. Deputy Shane Lang, who worked here for a number of years and then went to work in Marion County, was memorialized there at that ceremony and his name added to the wall in Nashville. So we went up in honor of that. Also, Shane's wife still works at our jail, so we were up there with her. This past Friday, we concluded with the ceremony at the Hamilton County Courthouse in Chattanooga. Had a really packed house there, really good ceremony there in memorialization of these law enforcement officers that have given their lives for the work that they do for us every day. Last week, that number I found was up to, I think, in the mid-50s for this year. So there have been 50-something law enforcement officers killed in line of duty already, which is a little bit of an uptick from this time last year, a little bit of a concern. But just wanted to mention that up front. So we had our jail inspection since the last meeting. That's the surprise inspection where they show up. They always do it on days that we have courts. So during court, all of our jail staff, or half of our jail staff, is having to transport people back and forth from the jail to the courtroom. But they always show up on court days for whatever reason. So we got that inspection in, and they passed again another year with no deficiencies. which is absolutely remarkable. There are very, very few jails in this state that pass with no deficiencies, and they do it continuously. Also, speaking on the jail, I've had a few of the commissioners have asked about the money that comes in for keeping the state inmates and the commissary and all that kind of stuff. So we now have, we didn't have this until I started getting all these questions, but we now have a running form that we will be keeping in our office. So if we go through the end of March, just a couple months ago, which will be 3/4 of the way through the fiscal year, or the money coming in from our jail with all these things combined, was $554,835.13. So that's the board bills coming in from the state for the state inmates. That's our tier certification. So we have the tier 1 certification that very few jails in the state have. We get an increase every month because of that. That's our commissary, our e-cigarettes, our inmate phones, and the civil process that our deputies serve out of Ms. Karen's office. So that's that. We have notified Erlanger that we will not be renewing the security contract that we've had with them for a number of years now. We've been in conversation throughout the spring with the people at Post in Nashville, and with the requirements that we have to maintain that there through Post. It basically is going to be impossible for an agency of our size to be able to do that. You would have to have extra people that you could send in when somebody's out sick or somebody's on vacation or whatever. We now would do that with our COs from the jail, but we can't do that. Post will not allow us to do that anymore. So we're having to not renew that contract. So June the 30th will end that contract. We will be absorbing those people back into the sheriff's office and the jail, which we're kind of working on right now about how that's exactly going to work. We had our deputy who was in the academy, went in back in January, graduated in April, so that'd be Ryan Stevenson. Ryan graduated, was chosen by his peers, his fellow cadets, as the president of the class, and held that position throughout that class, and graduated as president of the class. So I think that's a real testament to some of the candidates that we're starting to see now, that we have people who would be selected by other policemen or deputies to be the leader of their class. So really proud of Ryan. He's out on the streets here now and doing a great job for us. We had 2 promotions this past week. So we have 2 sergeant positions that have been open for a while, and we made those promotions. So Deputy John Simmons is now Sergeant John Simmons, and then we have Sergeant Aaron Allen. So congratulations to those 2. And that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you, Sheriff. We appreciate it. Mayor Huth, would you come forward, sir, and introduce our special guest tonight? In your packets, Commissioners, you should have received a proclamation declaring May 24th as Mental Health Awareness Month. Just a few words on Mayor Huth's got. He's going to introduce a special person that we've gotten to know here in a short while. Mayor Huth.
Good evening. Ms. Johnson, Terry? I'd like to introduce Terry Johnson. She is with Volunteer Behavioral Health, which has a location here on Fredonia Road, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. My name is Terry Johnson. I'm the Center Director here at Dunlap, and I'm also the Center Director at the Jasper Facilities. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. we had an open house at the Dunlap office recently. My heart is still overflowing with the support that we're getting from Dunlap, Sequatchie County. It was amazing to see how many people came out to support us. May is the month that we try to let everybody know mental health is there. And I'm going to give you a little bit of statistics. I'll try not to be long. 43.8 million adults experience mental health challenges each year. 1 in 4 children in the state of Tennessee has a mental, emotional, developmental, or a mental health disorder. Nearly 60,000 adults with a mental health illness did not receive mental health services last year. 50 of all chronic mental health begins at age 14. But realistically, we have some kids now that's 5 years old. Tennessee ranks 40th in access to care and ranks 47th for youth with major depressive disorders who did not receive mental health services. And we had 73,000 crisis assessments in the year of 2023. My goal is to say we're here. As a community partner, I want all of you to know that we're requesting your help to reduce mental health stigma and promote access to care in the month and beyond. We are here to help. We're trying to get in the schools now. We're getting our people there. We have 3, which helps out the teaching staff, behavioral issues in the schools. We know the need in this county, and you guys are recognizing that. And my heart goes out to you guys and appreciation for you guys allowing us to get out here and speak this, and especially about proclamation of May was Mental Health Awareness Month. That was big. So, we're here. We want you to know we're here. 1 in 4 people suffer from mental health. 1 in 4.
What are some of y'all's requirements in order, I mean, how does someone become introduced to this program? Through the schools or families or what?
Yes, we have some that gets referred from the schools. And that's the reason we're getting it out there. They'll go to crisis, you know, they're suicidal, they just can't deal with it at home anymore. They'll go to the ERs, they'll refer us.
What is the financial culpability of the program?
It is. We have a safety net program with the state of Tennessee. If you're not working, we can get you what you need. You can get services, you can get therapy, you can get your medications. We have a lot of TennCare people, of course. But with the safety net program, we got a safety net program for children that we can get those kids in, get them some help. We now have a program where we have detox unit in close to the area. I'm really determined to get the drugs out of these kids' hands.
So
It's scary.
The people that come to your organization are generally referred to you how?
How are they referred to us?
Yeah, how do they find you? How are they referred to you?
Well, like I said, doctors in the area will refer us when they have someone. Just everybody in the area refers them.
Okay, so
We
it's
get
not
them from
it's
everywhere.
not a judicial thing in most cases that goes through, or does that happen as well?
Well, like I said, we get them from everywhere. The hospitals, the doctors, anybody. I mean, I had one call me the other day, hey, I got a friend just needs mental health bad. You know, so we help them.
You get a lot of them.
So we get referrals from everywhere. You'd be surprised where they come from. parents that comes to our door and says, I don't know what to do with this child anymore. I can't handle him anymore. Autistic kids, behavioral kids, kids going through grief. COVID was really rough on children and adults in this county especially. And they're still going through that. We have clients that don't want to leave their home still.
Any other questions for Terry? I'm going to entertain a motion to approve this declaration before you. I'll entertain a motion. A motion from Mr. Powell, have a second from Mr. Shell. Any other questions from Ms. Johnson? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Ms. Johnson, thank you for your time and your information. I know the schools are well aware of this, and anyone that has lived through mental illness association, it's a tough gig.
Yes, it is.
So,
and just call us at the Dunlap office. We're on Fredonia Road. Drop in. We'll get you in that day.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for assisting us with it out there.
All right, next in your package, you should have received a request from James Condra, his recommendations for the Board of Equalization terms. Annette Brown, Dale Bright, Marie Grant, Donald Johnson, Kim Lockhart, Sam Esslinger, Bill Hatfield are the alternates. I'll entertain a motion to adopt, accept these proposed members.
So moved.
Have a motion from Mr. Barger, a second from Tommy Johnson. Any questions relative to this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? These recommended are hereby passed. Okay, also in your packets, Resolution 720, I put a copy of that dated back in 2018. Years ago, as part of our government agency and service corporation created under the laws, we could participate in a company. At the time, they were NJPA. They were an organization that allowed us to purchase equipment, vehicles, all kinds of stuff under a much cheaper price. The NJPA is now Sourcewell. Audit has asked me to reflect in the minutes that our association with them, I put in there, we bought our last truck through this organization. We are part of this, but they want, I want the authority to get a new master purchasing agreement procured, and I need your approval to do that. So it's just giving us the ability to buy more cheaper. So through this organization, I'll entertain a motion to get that done. Let me get the motion. So have a motion first. Thank you, Mr. Silver. Do I hear a second? Second. Mr. Powell. Do we have a motion second? Mr. Shell.
Yeah, over this agreement buying vehicles. Now, when you agree to a certain price, will you still come to the commission as far as?
Yeah, anything over $10,000, okay. We're a general law county, has to come through that.
Okay.
But just like on the Peterbilt that we bought, that truck was $260,000. It was $305 for the normal Joe to go buy that truck. So part of this association that we used through Sourcewell, we were able to buy at a much cheaper price. And I'm sure the school system uses Sourcewell. I know the highway department does, so we're all part of this. Yes.
What you're saying is in 2018 there was an agreement.
Well, there's a resolution.
A resolution in 2018.
It's the.
And you're just updating this.
That's exactly right. They've changed names. So
yeah.
NJPA is now Sourcewell. We bought through them for the last 2 or 3 years. We bought a truck in 19 that was through Sourcewell, but audit has just asked me to update the name primarily. So that's what I'm doing, reflected in the minutes. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? This motion hereby passes. Okay, up next, Ms. Jennifer, you want to give us an update on Erlanger?
as you may remember, we did a LOI with Erlanger sometime back to come up with a lease agreement that would expand the emergency department and also to move the ambulance service or Puckett into a new facility. County Executive Cartwright received a lease from Erlanger, just a draft. I believe it's 3.7 million would be the cost. There's not an itemization, and so there are some details that need to be worked out. He and I sat down last week and kind of went through there. There are some concerns that we have. I'm willing to answer any questions that I can. Some of the concerns, it's not just us leasing back. The county would be responsible for paying the 3.7, and then we would lease it back to Erlanger. They're wanting to do it on a staggered term of a 15-year and then a 10-year, where they could renew it for a 10-year. There's some provisions in there that allow them to get out of the lease that we kind of said we're not really concerned with, and we are very concerned with, and we won't take it out. Also, it's not just for the building, but they also want us to purchase the equipment. We had some concerns about that. So he and I think he talked to Ms. Boynton with Erlanger and kind of said, we need to do a lot more discussion about this before we have something concrete to present to you. But right now there's a lot to talk about and there are lots of concerns. So I'll answer any questions you have, but that's just kind of a general overview.
On Puckett, in the building with them, building a building for those people, that's private entity. What are they gonna play in with it, or how they gonna go?
Well, if you remember in the LOI, we put in there that part of all of this would be that the ambulance service would be relocated or a building would be built, which we then, you know, we basically own the facility now, but we give Puckett a place to house the ambulances. That's not in this lease at all, so that's something that we have pointed out that, you know, has got to be addressed.
So there was wanting a 15-year lease to begin with, and that wouldn't cover the 3.7 million, then there won't be an option to have another 10 years after that.
Well, and they just said it'd be 3.7, they don't have the amount of the monthly lease payment, but the way they structured it was a 15-year lease, and then they could renew it for another 10-year. County Executive and I discussed, we gotta have concrete numbers of what does that look like, you know, how much money would be left over in that last 10-year term. You know, we obviously don't want to put the county into spending 3.7 million and not have a payback provision that is secure for the length of the payback. I mean, that's our big concern, obviously, is money.
Exactly.
Ms. Mitchell, what's some of the terms that would allow them to get out of the lease, if you can talk for that?
Basically, yes. There are lots of terms where they can get out of the lease. The big one that I think was our biggest concern is if they determine that it's no longer economically feasible, then after 3 years they can get out. And we have an avenue where we can go discuss it. I think the last sentence says they have the final say. And I think that's kind of where we actually talked about this earlier, like there's a whole page about this, and we just kind of said this page needs an X, like a whole page. So we don't want anybody to have like the final say just because. So it's a concern. Anything else? I mean, it really had a lot more problems than, you know, positives in my opinion. But, you know, hopefully we can go back to the drawing board.
Similar to what we had before, really. I mean, in a way, same kind of issues.
Probably not the extent of the amount of money, but yes, similar issues.
What about the issues that people have going up there?
I can't address those. I have no idea. I mean, there are those issues, I'm sure, and those are issues that would have to be addressed by Erlanger themselves. You know, I can't address service issue, and there's nothing in the contract that deals with the services they will provide. Obviously, this would give them be the provider for Sequatchie Valley versus some other hospital institution.
Well, Erlanger just also recently become a for-profit organization, if I'm not mistaken, before they were
Not for profit.
Not for profit.
non-profit, yes, not-for-profit, a non-profit organization. I mean, no, a profitable organization. They've done change the organization where they're gonna be for-profit in the near future.
You know, obviously healthcare is good for everyone. It's good for our community. We certainly want to work something out if we can, but we have to protect the county, and that's what the county executive's really looking at. So he and I spent some time on it, and you know, that's, I think he would just say the same, that there are some current concerns we'll work through.
Are you still dealing with the same management that you started with on this? I think that's part of the problem, is it not?
We're not doing the same folks.
Okay.
It's the same lead lady, but she didn't make the decisions.
Okay.
Candidly, she won't make them this time.
Is it the same law firm writing the lease agreement?
Yes. It's not my office, so I have no idea.
Yes.
So we're not gonna bring anything, it has to pass, the Jennifer test and
Well, there would be a lot of tests other than mine before it got.
There's a lot of issues there that I don't see too favorable, what you spoke of so far.
And I don't want to be negative about it, but there are a lot of negatives. You know, obviously the positives would be, it would be healthcare for the community, and that's what we want. So we don't want to just give up yet.
Well, our money's on you. You take care of that.
Thanks. I hope so.
Well, and
Mr. Breland?
The Puckett voters, I don't know if they ever got the chance, or y'all, how are we standing with y'all for the future with Erlanger?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I've heard that y'all might be leaving Erlanger contract, or are y'all still gonna be here?
Well, they actually contract with us, the county.
Okay.
We just extended them for 1 year, a couple of months ago. I think you were out that night. But we believe in Puckett and their message, and we renewed them or extended their contract for a year.
We provided them with a contract, but we have not heard anything from Erlanger. So
That's what I was saying, I think, are y'all,
We're
you and
doing the
Erlanger still
same.
keying and hauling, or y'all still?
We're still getting along. We're trying to work through a contract if it's something they're wanting to do.
That's what I was wondering.
We
how
haven't
that's going.
received any follow-ups on it, however.
Any other questions?
Keith, Puckett, while they're in here, when you go up there to the ER, who has the decision on where you go to?
The patient has where they want to go. The patient?
Can you say it louder? The patient?
Yes, sir, the patient.
I heard you the first time. Well, why ain't we doing that?
They should be. If there's an issue where they're not, I need to know about it as soon as possible.
Well, you have people coming up to you asking you about that. Then when it happens to you yourself, then you want to know, why is it happening? You got insurance, you should get to go wherever you want to, but that's not where it's going up there. I know for a fact it happened to me.
Now, when it comes to if you're hospitalized out of the ER, we have nothing to do with that. That is something, if you're in the ER and you're going to be hospitalized, they take you to a different facility, that's completely out of our hands. But if you call 911 and we pick you up, we will take you wherever you want to go.
So if you come to your house and get you, you take you wherever you want to, right?
Yes, sir. As long as it's within reason around here, we can't go to Kentucky or Vanderbilt.
But if it's an ER, it's right the opposite, right?
We don't have to transport you, but whenever you're admitted from the emergency room, we have to take you where they got a sentence.
I see what they do.
So that is on the emergency room side, not on EMS.
Does anybody else have any more questions for me?
No,
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate it. Okay, Madam Clerk, any notaries?
Yes, sir.
Read us the bill of fare.
Unless, got 3 tonight. We got 1. Sheila Keener, Holly Swanner, Roberto Arrestondo Jr. That's it.
We just call them Junior.
Motion to approve.
Just call them
A
Junior.
motion from Jimbo, a second from Wayne. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, said notaries hereby pass. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. We stand adjourned.